Bodhi, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I think I've not probably heard your voice in almost a decade.
Well, I'm sure more. I think the last time we spoke was probably Kevin's wedding.
Wow.
How are you?
Oh, it's getting along. I feel like not much has changed, but I'm old,
Yeah,
so
it tends to happen. Well, good,
yeah.
good. I'm not sure if anybody else is going to show tonight. I actually have a plan for that, which is I'm going to be recording this since Chris said he might not be able to attend or attend consistently. Do you have objections to me putting you up on YouTube?
Oh, wow. I
Uh,
may get dozens of views for you. That's no objections, I guess.
cool, cool. So I guess just to talk some general strategy here. Um, so this is a game that came out 10 years ago. It doesn't render when I don't have it in focus. Pardon me. It is a sort of an adventure game, but sort of an action platformer. And I have attempted this game probably a good 10 or 15 times at this point. I've never been able to solve it myself. I have decided that the only way I am going to be able to solve it is in a group setting, which is why I've asked for your assistance. And my plan is just to kind of take us through the game from the beginning so that you have the most possible context to try to identify either what I haven't observed or what I have the wrong notion about. That is going to take a little time. So if we get started and that isn't working for us, we can always change our plan partway through or whatever. We're just kind of, I thought it would also be fun to have an excuse for us to hang out a little bit. I've been enjoying Dan setting up this channel for us to chat with each other. It's been nice, but every once in a while it's good to do stuff sort of as a group too.
Yep.
Um,
It's a good excuse for us to hang out.
Totally. So I'm gonna let the intro play here. I'm actually not gonna read the text in the intro because it's auto timed. I don't know if this is going to be super relevant to what is going on in the game. But in game, there's a lot of text. I may read it just to make sure that you or people who are watching us on YouTube get the text so they don't rush through it too quickly. I'm also going to provide a bunch of context about how I understand what's going on in the game. But your job is going to be to ask me questions and challenge my assumptions because one of them is wrong.
Yes. The audience builds our own understanding and see where it conflicts with yours or what we've got different.
Exactly. I don't think there's anything relevant in the attract mode. It does kind of hint at some of the later story developments.
As they do.
Okay, so that's that. Our final track loop, so I will just go ahead and start a new game here. Now, I have recently been playing La Mulana 2, and the controls are a little different. So hopefully I'll adapt pretty quickly, but we'll find out. So I play this little guy. His name is Lameza? Something like that. I'm going to walk into this tent here initially and meet Elder Zelpud. He says, "Welcome! You are that Professor Lameza, am I right? I think, I know what you're looking for. La Mulana, right? Them ruins can be reached down by the outskirts of this village. Your father went in there to do his research, but he ain't been back for some days now. I ain't got a clue what he's after, but since ancient times, folks have been passing rumors down about secret treasures. Heck, even the origin of life itself may be hiding inside these ruins. Generation after generation, we've protected La Mulana, Even so, I don't really know what her secrets are. I won't stop you from entering the ruins, but mind you, the mysteries of La Mulana are unsolved, because those who go in don't come back out, dead or alive. Who knows what happens to you? Anyway, I'll tell my people to open the entrance. Take a weight with you, too. By the way, that's one snazzy laptop, and it's made just for archaeological exploration? That's amazing! So thin and light. And of course it looks like it's made in Japan. I hear they make good games there, too. Oh, one last... I don't remember this being this wordy. Oh, one last thing. Unlike your father, you look like you need a hand. Take this software I developed myself. It only gets incoming emails from me. You can't reply, but I'll send you all sorts of tips. Let me see your laptop. Okay, so we got to
install some malware onto your laptop.
We got our first piece of software, and we'll be getting annoying emails from Elder Zelpud for the rest of the game. Here we go, it's installed, but don't forget you got to activate it from the software screen. And be sure to read all my emails. If I send you an email telling you to come back to the village, well then you best come back. Got it? Alrighty, you're all set now. Off you go.
So wait, people who go in don't come out, but if he sends you an email, you better come out. He's
immediately
optimistic.
Emailed me. And he says, you can trust this software for anything related to message from me. Function only remains... Oh, is this the... Nope, that is his intro email. Only receives emails from me. Details, this is the latest version of the Zelpud mailer. There are no plans for a version update. There's no help page. Help and troubleshooting requests will not be supported. Thank you for using the Zelpud mailer, Zelpud. And he's literally going to email me like every screen I visit for a little bit, just because it's the beginning of the game.
So Zelpud is duplex backwards. I just have to point that out because that's my...
I did notice that.
flaw.
No, that's great. I mean, maybe that may serve us well. Okay, email number 2. Dear Professor Lemeza, it's me. I decided I should give this email thing a try. I bet you're still wandering around the village. As a warm-up before going to the ruins, why don't you get a hold of the shell horn? It's inside a treasure chest at Sound Canyon, located above the entry to the ruins. You should be able to open it with a weight. Press down to place the weight. All right, I guess I'll send you emails. I'll send you emails frequently. Stop by my tent if you get bored and want to chat. So one of the things about the early part of this game is we're actually going to be a little bit money-starved. Fortunately, there's a mechanic for it. So these things that I'm sort of dancing around here, this is a pot. The first time you encounter a pot, when you break it open, it drops a better reward than subsequent times. So I'm just going to be running around and hitting these pots and hoping we get a bunch of money like that. Because we're going to need like 50 or 60 to really get started. But otherwise, I'm just going to be poking around here above the ruins for a little bit to get that shell horn that he suggested we get. And I will also probably be talking to some of the townsfolk. The first key item I want to buy is called a hand scanner. And I think it costs 50 in this game, which is a lot. But it will let me walk into this tent. I don't remember which tents are which. Okay, this is just a guy that says, there's a hot spring on the outskirts of the village. On the way to the altar, it's a good place to rest your bones. So that he's just suggesting that I can go to the hot spring and recover my health if I need to. The hand scanner I was talking about, though, the hand scanner will let me read tablets. And that's basically the principal interaction of this game. So let's see. There's 2 pieces of software in the shop. Glyph reader, I will need that to translate words. And the map reader, I'll need that to read maps. So I want both of these, but I don't want them just yet. I want the hand scanner first. I believe the hand scanner is in the shop over here.
So I just have to note the translation of that shopkeeper. That's weird.
Oh, what was the translation? What did I miss? Should I go back and look at something?
No, just the voice they chose for that character.
Oh, I see. All right, so I'm going to write hand scanner. Good, it is only 10. So now, for example, Zelpud's going to email me about it. He says, research is necessary. It's me. Hey, if you bought a hand scanner, you should use it to find out about all sorts of places. Reading stone tablets is a given, but you should scan anything from skeletons to mysterious objects. Come to think of it, I gave a map of the areas surrounding the village to a man long ago, but he still hasn't come back. He might have died somewhere out there. Why don't you take a look at some of the skeletons? You might find the map. So I'm going to equip this, and now I can read these tablets. I'm going to read this tablet first, and it just says this is a Holy Grail tablet. You can pick up from the last Holy Grail tablet you touched or save by pressing down. Everyone make sure to follow the rules when using the Holy Grail tablet from Elder Zelpid. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new save here. These are save locations, and there's sort of one of those in every zone. And I'll talk a little bit about how those zones are broken down when we get a little bit further into the game. But anyway, I'm going to resume breaking pots and getting stuff on the surface now that I have the scanner. So this sign says, danger, no entry beyond this point. And it says that because there's a big blue ogre called Argus here who I can't deal with yet. So I'm just going to show that he's there and run away. That pot didn't give me any money. And this guy tells me to watch out for it. Legend has it that Argus, a monster with a blue body, is covered in eyes. It's weak against the serpent staff. So that means I need to find the serpent staff before I can come back and deal with that big blue guy. Probably tonight, we're just going to do a little bit. We might get to like 3 or 4 zones, but the first parts are sort of pretty linear, and we're mostly going to be setting up to beat bosses. We're not going to be, like, we'll be solving some really simple puzzles, but they're the straightforward ones. Can I break this? No, I have to go through the other side, I see. Oops. In La Mulana 2, you can catch ladders in the air. I have to remember that I can't do that in La Mulana. Okay, so many of the puzzles are going to be like this. So this little brown thing on the ground here is like a dais. And you see in the upper right, I have 2 weights next to my 23 gold. Weights are things you just put on these daises, and they sort of go into the ground like that, and something happens. In this case, that passage opened up. Here's a statue of the Elder, which I believe I can get over, because there's some hidden software over here. So I got Death Village. Death Village is just a previous game that Nigoro, who is the developer of this game, made. Mostly... So there's 2 kinds of software. There's software that has useful effect, like the Zelpid mailer or the translation software I called out earlier. But there's also just like all of the games that this developer have made, and they mostly don't have effects, but some do. I don't think they're required for puzzle solving, but they're more like quality of life improvements. Like some make your weapons more powerful, and there's one in particular that improves your ability to teleport around that we will definitely be equipping. They don't tell you what they do. You have to work it out on your own. Boy, I wish I got that weight. That was a sad drop into the pit. Alright, so this is the skeleton I believe that the Elder wanted me to find. He says, I got the map. Oh yeah, when you examine skeletons, for some reason they talk to you. Anyway, this skeleton says, I got the map. And he was looking at it as I walked, and then I fell, and I sort of died. Well, maybe that's not funny, but I got the map of the surface area. Now, I can't read the map until I buy that map reader software, which I will probably on the way back down. Although the translation software is also going to be super valuable. So I'm going to put a weight on this dais here. It should open that treasure chest, and that should get me the shell horn. The shell horn is really cool. It's going to start making tones either when we've triggered a trap or solved a puzzle. So that's actually kind of helpful. I believe there's a hidden... I think I can go and get a little bit of hidden money up here to the right, so I'm going to keep going a little bit. Oh, and these green orbs I'm collecting, it's probably hard to see because my life is so low. But in the upper left is my life, which is 23, and below that is a little blue meter. And that is... that fills as I collect those green orbs. I don't know why the green orbs fill the blue meter. That's kind of a missed opportunity for some good UX there. But when it reaches the amount of life that I have, it refills my life. So that's sort of how you refill your life while you're in the field. But the more max life you have, the longer it takes to fill. So I have 34 money. I think I am going to just buy that map software and head into the ruins. But we're going to encounter some stuff we can't translate quite yet. So we'll probably head back out before too much longer. Oh, yes. I wanted to open up a shortcut while I'm up here. And not to worry, I'm moving a little slow right now, but pretty quickly you get upgrades that let you move and navigate a lot faster. So yay, now we have a straight shot into the ruins, but I'm going to buy that software. Which I think was here? Is that right? No, that's the Elder. What are you doing here? You ain't gone to the ruins yet? Haha, you're scared, are you? Oops. Nope, I don't remember where anything is. This is a laptop case. I will want to buy that at some point because it lets the laptop work underwater. And you can't teleport if you can't use your laptop, and teleporting is a great way to get out of danger quickly. Alright, so I bought the map software. Translation costs 50, so that's our next goal money-wise, but I'll equip the map software here. Oh, I actually didn't read a message from Zelpud, did I? He said, the waterfalls are dangerous. When I got near the waterfalls, he said, hi again, it's me. There's a large waterfall right outside the village, and I just wanted to warn you not to jump in for fun, because it's got a pretty strong flow. If you get carried off at the bottom of the waterfall, you ain't coming back. So, I can traverse water, but it damages me slightly, but that water has a current, and I will need an item to avoid the current later. But anywho, I did get the map of this area, so this is the map. And it's actually currently mostly unexplored. But that's okay. The map of the surface is kind of unique. The maps of the other areas are actually going to have very special properties, which I think I'll talk about in a little bit, because there's going to be some puzzles related to their shapes. Oops. So this is the entrance to the La Mulana ruins, and if I examine this mural here, it says the history of the La Mulana ruins are detailed. What? Elder is bothering me again. He says, what's up? It's me. You see the square box looking thing at the entrance of the ruins? Try pushing it. There's something similar inside the ruins that you can push as well. If something looks suspicious, don't just hit it with your weapon. Try pushing it later. So he's suggesting that the solution to this puzzle is I move this box to the right, and I can read this. This says, those entering the ruins, beware. They, in scare quotes, lurk within this land of ordeals. Death awaits the powerless. They will speak only to those who have learned the 7 histories and overcome the challenges herein. And if I keep pushing to the right, it's going to open up the entrance to the ruins. There they are. And now we go in. And we are in the La Mulana ruins for the first time. And this skeleton is actually a baddie. This guy isn't. So he has to say, these ruins are littered with traps. I lack the energy to escape. So more or less, this is what we're going to be doing the whole game, is I'm going to be reading things, and they're going to be sort of subtle, sometimes not so subtle clues to the puzzles. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the translation software, so I can't read some of these yet. These are written in the ancient La Mulana script. So I will run around in here until we get a little bit of money, and then we'll go back out and get that. But the Sacred Orb doubles my life, which is great. It also refills my life. And there's one of those in every zone. And Zelpud says, don't you feel stronger holding that orb? Hey, it's me. I thought you might open a treasure chest at the Gate of Guidance by now and decided to email you. The item inside that treasure chest is called the Sacred Orb. It's a secret treasure chest that gives you strength. Secret treasure that gives you strength. Your strength increases by having it. Don't eat it, though. Which is what I said. I didn't say don't eat it. I can't talk to that skeleton. So another interesting thing about these ruins, oh, you can't duck in this game either. Interesting, is there are these statues around, and for some reason, if you use your weapon near the statues, some of them are like trapped and will shoot things at you. Looks like these guys aren't. So that was a terrible example of that, but it's something to be mindful of. So I want to get that pot, so I'm actually going to go back and jump across that little gap there. And feel free to chime in at any time. I'm kind of in streamer mode, which just means I chatter constantly.
Yes.
So
if I have something very important, I'll interrupt.
Do it. Okay, so this skeleton says, apparently this is the Pillar's Gate room, a room within the Gate of Guidance. So there's a name for each room, huh? I've learned something interesting, but I'm likely going to die soon. So what he's alluding to there is we can't see it because we don't have a map yet, but once we have a map of a zone, each room has a unique name associated with it, and sometimes that's relevant for certain puzzles. I will probably not be looking at every name of every room because that's just sluggish, but if we suspect it's relevant to something I'm doing, gosh, I want that pot. I should have jumped down the pit. If we suspect it's relevant to solving a puzzle or something, we'll eyeball some names. Surprise skeleton. Money is super valuable early, but weights are actually kind of a rarer drop, so I'm glad that I'm getting some of them. Okay, this guy says, these words are Greek to me. I should have bought that glyph reader. Yes, I agree. I couldn't afford it, but I too should have bought it. All right, here's another save point, and I can go ahead and save here. I won't need to be saving all that often. I think just by walking by the save points, you save your progress, or that might be the case when I get an item, which I will get momentarily. These are little, like, elephant fleas. Enemy design in this game is very interesting. I can't read that. So this symbol here, one of which we saw on the cliff's surface side, that's something I need a rune to be able to activate that. That should open the treasure chest in this area. So we'll be coming back there later when I have a rune. Again, can't read any of these. But we're going to solve some puzzles blind because I already know the solutions to them. And then I will come back in here and we'll read all of those. And they will explain how and why I've been solving these puzzles. Okay. I'm going to use this weight here to open that wall, even though it will not remain open, so that's kind of a waste of a weight. But I'm going to come down here to use this weight, which will open those treasure chests. Now, I can't get to those treasure chests from here, but I can get there later, so I'm just going to leave them open, and they're going to be worth a lot of money at some point. Oops, and there's like random horrible traps like that all over the place, including some that kill you instantly, so this is not a very friendly game. You gotta be watchful, mindful. This skeleton says, I guess those who have the courage can obtain weapons, but if I jump into the spikes, I'll die. So what he's alluding to, and some of the tablets in this area, which I'll be able to read once I have the translator, is that this is one of the early puzzles, which is it's a test of courage, and what he's suggesting these spikes aren't actually real. So I'm just going to wander off here and not hit these spikes that aren't there, which will let me put a weight on this dais, which gives me my first sub-weapon, the shuriken, because not only am I an archaeologist, I'm also a ninja. And Zelput says, it's me! Sometimes there are weapons hidden inside the ruins. They look normal, but being weapons from the ruins, they're a bit funny. You can't use the weapons without ammo. Collect ammo that matches the shape of each weapon. Once you do that, you'll be able to use your weapons. So I have 60 gold, so I'm actually going to very slowly walk back outside and go get that scanner so we can read some of these messages we've been skipping over after I get my butt kicked by an elephant flea thing.
It's a quick fade out on those money drops.
Yeah, it is a very hard game. which is why I'm playing and not necessarily suggesting other people play. I know many people who have quit this game over, like, some of the boss counters are very challenging. But it's the puzzles that got me beat. Software was over here, I think I remember. Yes, okay, I have the glyph reader software now, so now I can read. Once I install it on my computer. Oh, this is an interesting mechanic. I kind of have been glossing over it. So your computer has a fixed amount of memory, so you can get software, but it occupies some of that memory. So you have to uninstall programs to have programs installed. Later, you'll be able to get an expansion for it and double the memory, but you still can't ever have all of the programs installed. But anywho, I got me the not map reader. I had the map reader. I got the glyph reader. So now I can read some of these tablets we skipped over, such as this one. And thankfully, it is very subtle. I don't even know if it'll come through clearly on the stream, but the tablets have a different color if you haven't read them. So this one's glowing slightly pink. You can see the one above is a little bit darker. And when I read this, which says, "This is where the mother lays to rest in the path of trials. Only heroes who done..." Bleh, stumbling over my words already. This is going to be a long night. "Only heroes who do not fear death are permitted to proceed." Oh, and by the way, since you are currently the only one here, just feel free to say at any point, like, "All right, that's enough. We should wrap it up." And I will either try to find a good stopping point, or we can just drop it immediately.
Should be good for a while. Carry on.
All right, here we got, "Behold, the gate of guidance. Death awaits those who disturb this land."
So I imagine whipping skeletons doesn't count as disturbing. So that's intentional.
"Offer 3 lights to the heavens" is a clue about another puzzle in this room that I can't reveal yet because of the rune thing. What that clue you asked about alludes to is the fact that, here, I'll show you, in this room, you see the little eyeball up at the top there?
Yeah.
That's called an Eye of Divine Judgment, and it means, had I come in here and this little wall where they picked up the item, had I whipped it, I would have been struck by lightning from that eye and lost a lot of life. And that's just letting you know, like, hey, whipping things isn't necessarily the solution to the puzzles. So here we got, "Thou traipses on holy ground. Take care not to cause any needless damage." This is alluding to it too. "Those who do not heed the wording will be dealt punishment from the heavens." So that's "don't whip the thing." And this one says, "Courageous one, embrace the power. If thou seeketh power, prove thine courage." And that's the clue about jumping into the spikes. Was there something over here? No. Not that I can get to yet. So we are done with the upper part of the dungeon here, or the upper part of the entrance. Something I should also have called out, I'm not going to backtrack to do it, but there was an exit of the zone to the left there. It was actually an exit to zone number 4, and the next exit I'll try to call out. See what this tablet says. "Those who challenge the guardians know thy strength. Death awaits the powerless. The future awaits those who train themselves to take on the challenge." It's just sort of saying, hey, maybe don't take on the bosses right away. Maybe go ahead and get some stuff and then take them on later. Now, one of the more subtle clues in this game is if you see a bunch of skeletons bunched up like this, it's usually an indication that there's something dangerous around. So let's see. I'm going to talk to this guy. He says, "I can't believe I fell for such an obvious trap." And this guy doesn't say anything, but what they're referring to is if I put a weight on this dais, the jaw on that statue is going to fall off. And had I been standing there, it would have instantly killed me. But you get an achievement. It says, "Welcome to La Mulana," because there are just like nasty instant death traps like that sometimes. This guy says, "The path of gazing faces lies within the heavenly corridor. The hidden floor I found it, but I got overly excited and fell. I think he's talking about an invisible platform that's in this room. Yeah, so that makes sense. So in the upper left here, you see that there's a face facing left, and if I proceed to the left, you'll see there's a face facing right, and they sort of meet, and that's calling out that there's actually a hidden walkway above me, which I can't access right now. But I think this will get me the map for this area. So cool. So now you can see the shape of the heavenly corridor. And I will refer to that again in just a minute because it is the solution to a puzzle I'm going to be solving very soon. I am nearly out of weights. That's not good. I should have bought some weights when I was in town. Oh, there's not... okay. Can't get there yet. Somebody drop some weights. I probably need like 2 or 3 more. Or else I'm going to have to do a lot of backtracking. Okay, so this says, it shall connect once held in the mouth. When one swallows, the other spits out. So that's telling me that if I smack this brick in this guy's mouth here, you can see this sort of line that goes over here, that guy's going to spit out that brick there, and that's a platform to the upper area. But I think the chest to the left there is... Oh no, that's going to be bad.
Oof. Good thing you're invincible on landing there.
Yeah. Backtrack a little bit.
That is an enormous rat.
Yeah, and they explode when you get close if you don't whip them. Okay. What sour swords bounce the Temple of the Sun? Traps to capture thieves have been newly set in a newly constructed wall 2. The key has been hidden. This is a clue. Okay, so right in the lower right here, that's an entrance to another area. You can see because it's a ladder down, and there's kind of a weird symbol at the bottom. But also above it is a symbol that's actually a number in La Mulana script. And there's a lot of puzzles that are related to numbers, and you're kind of expected to learn about the numbers a little bit. But I have a secret shortcut to doing that, which I will... Oh no! That's right, this is a boss area. Okay, good timing on that life up. Mini boss area, I should say. See if we can just face tank this guy. I think we're doing okay. Yes. Alright, bosses are down. There's a little click. Yeah, I'm really screwed up because I didn't mean to fall in that pit. So I'm doing things out of order. I'm used to doing it. But killing that boss made that block fall out of the hole up and to the right here. And there is an example of the ruins fighting back if I whip too close to them. Alright, so here's a puzzle here. I need to get that block onto that platform. I recall this one's a pretty easy one. Yeah, so I have 3 blocks, and I don't think there's any trickiness to it other than the upper block I need to push left. So I should just be able to move these, no sweat. Later we get an item that lets us push blocks faster, thankfully. Oops, I should be able to make that jump. If not, I might have to reset this puzzle. There we go. I think that'll open the passage below us, which actually leads to the boss room, but we're very much not ready for that. Oh no, that opened a wait up here. Do I run that one? Holy Grail. Alright, I'm trying to remember, like, I want to use my last weight to get the Holy Grail. So I'm actually going to try to solve a different puzzle here, and we'll come back to this one. But this is the puzzle that lets me... Here, I'll talk to this guy. He says, I found an escape route. These ruins seem to be connected in a very mysterious fashion. So what he's referring to is if you look at the layout of the map of this zone, and this is true for every zone except for the surface and one other zone, it's a 5x4 grid. It's got some wrapping and stuff, but it wraps in on itself to make a 5x4 grid. That clue in this case is indicating that the wall to the or the room to the far left of where I am is connected to the room where I am to the right here. So I'm just going to walk through this wall, and now I'm over there. And that is one of the other places. And I think this will. I actually don't think this is going to give me the Holy Grail. I think it's going to turn off the laser above me. Oh, it is the Holy Grail. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. So I will use my last weight here, which will turn off that laser. And I'll jump over damage boost. That's a speedrun strat. And grab the Holy Grail from this chest. And the Holy Grail is a fantastic item because it actually lets me teleport to anywhere I've touched the save tablet. So I'm going to teleport back to the surface to buy some weights because we just ran out. Now we have 10 weights, and that should last us a while, hopefully. Also going to top off my life while I'm here, because why not? Huzzah! Alright. Back to the Gate of Guidance, which is the name of this zone. And we'll start doing it in the order I meant to be doing it in again, instead of skipping ahead a little. So now that this thing is moving up and down, oh, well, there's Elpud wants my attention. What does he have to say? The Holy Grail is useful. It's me. By now you must have done exploring the Gate of Guidance. I didn't think there was a real handy treasure there. I think there was a real handy treasure there called the Holy Grail. Did you see the stone tablets that were shaped differently from the others? If you read from those tablets, your memories of the location you are poured into the Holy Grail. From there you can use the Holy Grail to travel to any of the recorded locations. What do they call that these days? Warping? That's sort of what I just explained.
Kids these days and they're warping.
Alright, so this says there are 8 Ankhs that protect the great spirits, seek the red light, the Ankh jewel. The guardians that slumber within the Ankh will test thine strength. So what this means is everywhere there's a boss in this game, there's an Ankh, and you have to find a red jewel in the same area and use it on the Ankh to unlock the boss. Alright, so this is that secret passage that was alluded to earlier. And I am doing a little hops here because I do believe there are holes in it. So just to be on the safe side, I'm going to do this. And I think that will open the way to the boss. But now I'm going to go back because this is the way up to where that money was. It says, fear not the water hold the answers to those who have been delivered by it. Cross the sacred lake. So this is a picture of an area in Zone 4 that's filled with water. And the point of this tablet is to say, hey, the thing that makes you immune to water is beyond this part, so go ahead and swim through it. But this is going to be, I think these are worth 50 each or 30 each. Good amount. That will help dramatically with our money. I guess while I'm here, there's the other entrance or exit to Area 4. And that little weird W shape is a 4. We will be fighting the first boss right away, but we're going to save the second and third bosses for later until we've powered up quite a bit. We'll be solving a lot of puzzles, getting up to them, but then just moving on. Let's see. I think I want to go down here. I think that's what's next. Oh, I missed. Oh, good. I didn't land on anything bad. Some money. Avoid the gooey froggy things, which I think are called togs. Those who push the white box, the white platform, and the white box are drawn to each other. I think that's another clue about smacking the box in the thing's mouth. Hey, all this money. Oh, I'm so happy. That's what archaeology is about.
Belongs in a museum.
This guild runs a hidden shop. Put her aside in favor of money and barter. I don't know what that missing word is.
Symbols.
Yep, that's going to be related to a puzzle we'll solve in a moment. Okay, I figured out what the Cliff of Radiance is, but there's some sort of door blocking my way. Pulling doesn't open it. Actually, there isn't even a doorknob to pull. I wonder if I was supposed to push. I guess I'll never know. He's referring to a one-way door. I'm going to do this, and this reveals a hidden shop over here. And I am going to buy it just because I'm going to buy everything, but this software is guild, and it will make a sound when there's a hidden shop nearby, like this one. Although I do know where all the hidden shops are, so really it's just kind of a waste of 60 gold. Uh-oh. The sad tale of the giants, tragic history of the giants is written here. The second zone is the Mausoleum of the Giants, and we'll be learning lots about giants, or rather, I'll be skipping over a lot about giants because I know the solutions to all the puzzles already. But it involves learning the history of the giants. All right, this guy says the first age of the sun was destroyed by flood. Second age of the sun was destroyed by the god of wind. Third age was etc. fire, blood and fire falling from the sky. The same thing was written in Mayan prophecy. Could there be a collection? So he's just telling us straight up the solution to the puzzle that we just passed. So the solution is flood, wind, fire, blood, and fire. So that's the order we're going to break these tablets in. So first is flood, and then wind. Whoops. Whoops. You can do it. There we go. Fire. And then blood and fire. I believe that will open the staircase over here. Yes. It's coming back to me. I can do this, which will open a door to the right. Still a little clumsy with my jumps. I'll get used to it. I actually want to go up here. And this is the one-way door the guy was talking about. You can only push it this way. And it closes behind us. And Zelpud wants something. What does Zelpud have to say? Door in the ruins. It's me. How are you? Inside the ruins, there's a door, but it's a little different from modern doors. Push it with all your strength and it will open. If it does not open, then you need to push from the other side. Doors in the ruins only open one direction. Fun. So now we're here, which we were a little earlier, but we couldn't actually get to this dais. So now I've gotten there. And that opens the treasure chest there, which I believe contains the Ankh for this level. Which means we're nearly done with the first area. Yes, okay. Ankh acquired, and this is where I would usually do the puzzles that I accidentally had to complete earlier because I fell into the pit. So here it says, the jewel sign's red. It's me about Ankh jewels, those red gems. If you use them in front of those cross-like thingies called Ankhs, located here and there in the ruins, you can break the Ankhs. Breaking them will make something bad happen, so maybe think about going back to the village to save first. And while you're there, why not come chat with me? That's a good point. I am going to... Well, my life is full, so maybe I'll just teleport back to... how do you teleport? What's the button? This one. Hey, I figured it out. Teleport back to here, and we'll do we got a quick save, because I have the Ankh And that's going to be sufficient in case we lose to the boss, but I'm not going to lose to the first boss, right? What are the odds of that happening? Pretty slim.
Don't say it out loud.
Alright. So we already solved most of the... Oh, that's not open. Oh, that's because I ran out of weights here. Okay, good. I was panicking because I thought I had lost track of something. Alright. That is it. That was the last puzzle in this zone, but we're going to go ahead and, like I said, we'll fight the boss right now. And he's a pretty easy one, but after this they get quite hard quite fast, so... That's an Ankh. I'll equip this here. Red Jewel, and that will summon our first boss, who is the two-headed snake Amphisbaena. He also breathes fire. I'm doing a great job not dodging any of these. There we go. And he doesn't have a lot of life, so it's okay if you take a few hits. So Amphisbaena is defeated. I have obliterated Amphisbaena, but the adventure continues. Okay, so that filled up my life, and we got one boss down. Sorry. Urgent, come back ASAP, says Zelput. It's me, come back to my tent. Now something bad has happened. So we'll go ahead and teleport back there. To which he has to say, you made it! Actually, I called you back for no good reason. I'm just bored. Sorry. Haha. Don't get all mad and rush off. Please take a seat and eat some of my homemade bat curry. Anyway, being an archaeologist sure seems dangerous. Even after I warned you about the monsters and traps, you still went into them ruins. If you can solve all the puzzles without dying, you might actually meet the legendary 4 philosophers, if they actually exist. This curry sure is tasty. You want to hear it again? Nah. Okay then. So, I have 4 weights. I'm going to buy a couple more. He's bugging me again already. Sorry, it's me. Sorry about lying about the emergency in the last email, but it would be nice if you came into the surface of shock now and again. Professor. Zelpud does give you random clues as you talk to him, but also in particular, in fact, I haven't done it yet, so I can do it with a hand scanner. I think he tells you about items the first time you enter his tent when you have it. So yeah, so I have the hand scanner equipped. He says, I see you got the hand scanner. Good thing since you needed to inspect skeletons and stone tablets. You can also expect big old murals and statues. But anyway, we are now ready to move on to Zone 2. If I can remember my buttons again. So we'll teleport back to Zone 1, and Zone 2 is down and to the left. That's the Mausoleum of Giants. And in there we'll be able to get some sneakers that'll make us move faster, which will help a lot. Alright, so that's Zone 2 down there to the left. Thankfully, the La Mulana script for the number 2 looks like the number 2. None of the rest do, though, so... Here we are, the Mausoleum of Giants, Zone 2. There are 9 zones total in the game. However, each zone has a front and a back side, so we've only seen the front sides of zones so far. So this skeleton says, so these are the ruins of those beings known as giants. I'm just this close to deciphering the legends of the giants, but he died. I remember correctly, I think there's some money if I take this more difficult path here. I'm going to throw some shuriken over here because I think there's some money behind that wall there. Nice. We were unable to fulfill the Great Mother's wishes. Now I, too, the last remaining of us, am due for a long slumber. Signed, Abuto. Abuto is one of the giants. And again, a lot of the puzzles in this zone are about learning the history of the giants, but I know the solution to the puzzles, so we can kind of skip over a lot of that. So this dais does not look right, but I do have to activate it anyway. But it's just going to drop that spike there. Alright, here's a door. I think this is a denizen of the dungeon. Yeah, there's a skeleton guy here. He says, a Nebra sky disk lies beneath this land. Leap upon what floats there from high above. The heavens shall yet move at your command. So that will be obvious when we get to the Nebra sky disk what that means. So I'm not going to go into it now because it required me to refer to the sky disk and you don't know what that is yet. So and this one says, the mother was great. She made even giants look tiny. The giants were great. Thou art tiny like a little doll. So that's just reminding you that you're smaller than a giant. So this tablet is fun. It says, thou art forbidden from laying eyes again on this marker. Those who heed not this warning will suffer the pain of death. So what that actually is the in-game difficulty slider. If you examine that tablet again, you activate hard mode forever. So I'm not going to be doing that. Dang it. Ah. Alright. The sun shone brightly the day Leto fell in battle, a gaping hole in his chest. He entered eternal slumber. So the important thing here is that the sun was up when one of the giants fell. I can also look at the things in the background, but I don't think these are actually relevant. They just tell you where the creator got art inspiration from. Push this down here. That changes the direction of that arrow, and that's going to mend or change the dais I activated above, so it will actually open this treasure chest. But I'm going to head to the left here, because I think there's a mini boss I can fight. I'm probably okay to do it. I have 42 life. This is where the Ghost Lord lives. Come one, come all, the Ghost Lord will appear before your eyes. Gather round, sit tight until he's fully grown. So that's a clue about how to encounter the Ghost Lord. I will open this wall, and there's a falling thing here. I can talk to this guy. Now, interestingly, here we have the first thing Ian doesn't know about. So I'm gonna look at this tablet here. For the tower let me start over. For the tower to fly, much water was needed. Megala, that's one of the giants, carried a lake to this land, then drew his last breath. And this is a picture of Zone 4 and a picture of 2 towers and how they are linked. So this is a clue a little bit later that you can flood the Mother's Tower with water from that particular zone. But the thing I don't know is, as you can see directly above me, is an Eye of Judgment. And if I whip the wall to my right, I will get punished by the Eye of Judgment, which means there might be something hidden in this room that I don't know how to access. So food for future thought. This is Ian's unknown number 1. We're going to go fight the Ghost Lord. So the guy said, sit tight until the Ghost Lord shows up. And what he means is beat up the ghosts, but don't leave the room. I'll read the tablet while I'm waiting for them to get in good positions. Concerned for his brothers, Ribu dug a hole to send the lake's water to the tower. His strength exhausted, he laid down to rest. Ribu is also a giant. Aw, I was going to kill that guy. Ah. Oh no! Divine punishment. Okay, there we go. Now the big guy shows up. Gosh darn it. Alright, we got our second sub-weapon here. The rolling shuriken. This guy rolls along the ground. The sub-weapons are very weak compared to the whip, so I mostly won't be using them. There's only a few instances where it's advantageous to use the sub-weapons rather than just whip things. Boy, I wish I can't teleport here yet, can I? No. Whoops. Crap, I teleported to the surface. I didn't mean to do that. Well, I guess we're going for a scenic route here.
Collecting more money.
Yeah. This is a speedrun strat. If you get the money here, I don't know. I was trying to bypass using the weight there, but instead I just backtracked a whole bunch.
+1 weight.
Whoops. Oh, that's
-1 bet.
I'm gonna land on those spikes. Oh, I didn't. Boy, that was a long invincibility time. I really did not expect it. Dang it. I swear I'm a little good at this game. Alright, back down to the Mausoleum of the Giants. So now this weight should work here. And I can go get the item down there, which I think is the map, if memory serves. Oh dear. Fun. Well, we'll go get the map in a second. So this thing here, this is actually a gate. So a little bit later, I'll be getting an item that lets me use the gates, and the gates connect, I guess they call it a sealed wall. The gates connect the front and the back side of a particular zone, but you also need to have beaten a certain number of bosses to use some of the gates. And really that's... Oh, here's the save point. That's good. Really, that's the only reason to beat the bosses, is because it unlocks those particular gates. Behold the Mausoleum of Giants. The sad memory of giants are connected within, or contained within, rather. And Zelpid says, it's me! In the Mausoleum of the Giants, there's this stone tablet that talks about the history of the giants. Be sure to read it. There's no other way to learn the names of the leaders and their history. Alright. 'Twas a moonlit night that G started praying. So we got death at sunlight, and moonlit night for praying. Those are the key clues. And here we're gonna spend some moolah to get some boots. And now everything is so much better. Oh my gosh. Basket of countless stars spread over Bado, falling into sleep somewhere. So there's a third clue. Stars for sleeping. Sun, death. Moonlight, praying. Stars, sleeping. I'm going to go back up, even though it's going to cost me an extra weight to get that map. And hopefully not fall down again. Abuto, G, Ribu, and Sakit all hoped there would come a day when the mother would live in this land. So you might notice the platform in the upper left there looks a little odd. That's because it's actually a scale, and when we get the double jump later, we'll be able to go there, and it will show us our weight in La Mulana's script. And that's actually necessary to solve a puzzle later. Gosh darn it. That is sure not what I wanted to do. Actually, I'm taking a lot of damage, so I'm going to pop back to the surface anyway.
Talk to the elder.
Okay, I will in a moment.
Got to say?
Yeah. I will pop in the spring and grab some weights, I think, and then I'll talk to the elder. I do think, like, oh, I just got the full life from the collectibles. That's silly. Some of the puzzles in this game are really obtuse, but I think some of them are really clever too. So I sort of have a love-hate relationship with it. All right, 10 weights. I try to keep around 10 weights at all times. All right, Elder has to say, there's this game I want to download, but I don't have enough points on my card. You got to go to the next town and pay me $10 and buy me $10 worth of points. The town, it's only 100 miles away. He usually just talks about video games and stuff. Alright, let's go back to... Thankfully we can go right back, because we did grab the teleporter to the mausoleum. That will help. Let's see if I can get this map without backtracking a third time. Okay, there's a platform here that drops you into that pit. Do not fall for it again. It is like here. Okay. Success! I should be able to get up there. Oh. I forget how to do the straight up jumps in this game. You have a little jump control in La Mulana 2, but you have less in La Mulana 1. I know I can get there. Do I have to fall from above? I wonder if I even can. Oh, sure. I have to go up on the other side. That was really dumb. Ta-da! I solved it.
Good job.
I solved the casual observation puzzle. Alright, dang it.
You solved the hole.
Yeah. It's okay, I wanted to be down here. I didn't want to do it on the spikes, but what can you do? Okay. Excuse you. Okay, this says Zebu would not budge, for he was the one who sustained the land, but the rest of them split into two sides and continued the battle. More giant history. This guy gonna say anything? So there's a whole bunch of, like, learning the history of the giants. It serves three purposes. I called out two of them so far. Now let me read this. Those who plunder the red light, I think that word is, shall never escape. And it shows a picture of the room where you get the Ankh, but it also shows this face that will trap you in if you don't destroy it. So some of the purpose of learning the history of the giants was to identify what time of day which giant did the things, and I already called out the 3 that are relevant. And the last one is to identify a particular giant who has power sealed away within him, and it's this one. So I'm going to put a weight here at his feet, and that opens that treasure chest.
How do you know which giant it is?
I'll show you a couple clues in a minute that will explain it. But it's one of those, like, you get a little bit of information about each of the giants, and you have to eliminate them, kind of logic puzzles. But we get a sacred orb and a little more life, which is great. Life is always good. Zebu was the firstborn, was holding up the land and thus unable to move. This guy says strength lies at the foot of Futo. Futo is the one we're looking for, but which one is Futo? That was Futo. We know who Futo is. So I'm going to take a brief detour here. And I hope I have the money for it. I have 72 coins. Let me break this pot over here. See if that helps. Yes, perfect. 80. I think I need 80. So that might be the perfect number. So I'm going to go down in here. This is actually zone... I think it's zone 7. It's either 6, 7, or 8. But it's kind of in a weird state right now. You have to solve a puzzle later to connect it up right. And before you do, like, all of the exits kind of lead to a random other entrance or exit to the room. So I'm going to be just poking around in here for a little bit, but there's a shop in here I actually need to visit right now. So this says, the twins were the sole survivors of the first child. The hero of the third child captured them and then obtained the wisdom of the first child. And that's just talking about the history of the races within La Mulana. So I'm going to go down here. And oh, good, I got to the shop right away. That's fantastic. So I'm going to this shop. I only needed 60, but I'm going to buy this helmet. And this guy says waterfalls should pose no problem with this helmet on, which makes perfect sense, right? If you ever want protection from a waterfall, you need a helmet. But that means now I can avoid the current. And I might already be able to do this. Let's see. It's a little early, but I'm just going to visit this shop a couple of times. I might not be able to do it yet. Alright, later on, I might have to link up the zone for this to work. There's actually a Big Brother's shop, and there's a clue that it's for exclusive clientele, and what that means is you just have to visit the Little Brother shop a bunch, and eventually say, like, oh, hey, you can now go visit this other shop. And that was a puzzle I was stuck on for a very, very long time. I'm just going to wander around until I find my way out, which shouldn't take long, but I'll also probably get to collect a little bit of money along the way. The rooms that I'm actually traversing are only the very left and right edge of this zone, so it's not like you can get meaningfully within it. Beyond the skull lies the entrance to the eternal chamber, I bet.
That's quite some deduction there.
So I can't hit these gators with my current weapon yet, but I can use the rolling shuriken to hit them. I should be getting soon a dagger that will let me hit low.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello,
Hello, Dan.
Dan. I have decided, and don't feel obligated to play catch up, but the way since people said they might not be consistently available for this, I'm actually recording while we're playing. So, I backtracked. I will be, with your permission, uploading to YouTube. I don't have to make it public, but it would. Oh, I'm back at the entrance. Would help make it available for people who do want to play catch up, just so they have appropriate context if we're gonna solve the puzzles of this game.
Sounds good.
Okay, so got the helmet, got a little money. Back to the land of giants. We're looking for a clue that let us know that Futo is left-handed or right-handed or something like that. And that's the last one that'll identify that guy. But anywho, we already solved the puzzle. Alright. I'm going to read these. So, in order to return the mother to the heavens, Bado, Magela, Ledo, and Futo built a flying tower. This is more just backstory and lore and stuff. And this says nothing. Wait for that platform to come back down so I can jump to the other side there. I think this is my super secret pro tip. Yeah, okay, so here is some cryptic history of the Mulana ruins. The first child had the body of a snake. The second child, giants, had a large body. The third child soared through the sky. The fourth child had the body of a fish. The fifth child had wisdom. The sixth child was born of the earth. The seventh child cast the mother away, and the eighth child did not know the mother. Let us place the spirit of the ninth child into the body of child 0. And I think that last line is actually the subtitle of the sequel. But anyway, this isn't going to make sense right now, but it's talking about the generations of people who have lived in the La Mulana ruins. But the reason this is this is Ian's pro tip, beneficial tablet, is it has all of the La Mulana script numbers in it, which means if I turn off my script reader, my glyph reader, I can look at this tablet, and the unique characters, they're in the second column, are the La Mulana script numbers. So I already have a picture of this, but if you didn't know the La Mulana script numbers and you were trying to figure them out, you can just look at this tablet untranslated, and this is a cheat sheet for you. And Elder Zelput has to say, it's me you need to come by more often. Now then, there are switches in these ruins that will activate puzzles when stepped on. You see a selection of floor that's kind of raised up. It's a switch. Sometimes just standing on them won't do nothing, meaning you need more weight. In those cases, try landing on them somewhere high up, or jump and stomp. Okay. He's just telling us that in a moment we're going to encounter some switches where we have to jump up in the air to land on them. Which we'll be doing soon, but I'm going to head over here and take another detour into another late game zone. Oops, I left my reader off. I'm going to turn it back on. The youngest, Sakit, tread his own path. He put a key on Ledo's body, falling into slumber with powers in his hand. So that's a clue to where the Ankh is. The Ankh is in Ledo's body.
Yeah, this definitely feels like something I should be like keeping track of all the various text so that later on you're like, oh wait, that means this. I get it now.
Yeah, and as I was telling Shane when we first kicked off, like that some of what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be talking through like how I understand some things as we encounter them, but what I'm relying on you guys to do, if we are to succeed here, is disagree with me because I've got something wrong. All right, this says, we are the second race born of the Great Mother. We were created in order to return the Mother to the heavens. Let me tell you the sad tale of our race. The race begins with the 9 brothers, Zebu, Bado, Magela, Ledo, Futo, Abuto, Chi, Ribu, and Sakit. Well, that's just the names of all the giants. Ah. Okay, so this is level 7 or so, maybe 8. We're going to pop in here just briefly, like we did a moment ago. There's a couple really useful things in here. Money. Money is always useful. Now this says, call forth the dragon that sleeps in this land, follow the true flow, and the answer shall be entrusted to the dragon. So at some point we'll have a key. I don't know why it talks about dragons. There's like a dragon effect when you use the key. Food for thought. Anywho, there's another one of those rune markers, so we'll revisit when we have runes, which don't happen until much later. This guy says, the same room no matter how far I go, so that's what I mean the corridor to be endless. The area we're in is called the Endless Corridor. And if we keep going left, we're going to loop around to the right, and that's why it's the Endless Corridor. And there's where we would use the key. Oops, I want to get that save point. To teleport back here, so now we have the save point. And here, we meet the Queen of the Fairies. Oh my, you're a human, she says. I'm the Queen of the Fairies that live in the ruins. The 4 philosophers instructed us to help the humans who visit us here, and thus we have been waiting. My fellow fairies will help you, but first you must prove you are worthy of our powers. Find Isis's pendant, which lies somewhere in these ruins. Bring the pendant to me, only then shall we be able to help you. Would you like to hear that once more? No. Then good luck on your search for the pendant. And we will then collect Isis's pendant and be able to use fairies, and fairies are like super useful. Let's see what Zelpa has to say. Fairies, yo! Go ahead.
I just love that they made sure to default. It looked like they defaulted it to yes, tell me again. So if you match the A button, and you move forever.
I guarantee I will do that at least once while we're recording here. Okay. Zelpa says, what's up? It's me. Apparently there's a race called fairies still living in the ruins, yo. They will only help the one that holds the right treasure. That's right. So maybe you should search for the treasure first. Know what I'm saying? Look at the map, and if there are runes with suspicious names, just check it out, yo. He's a character. I think he's like 80 years old or something. So like I said, if you proceed to the left, we will arrive back at the right, but you heard the little, you solved a puzzle charm, and that opened the chest, which I think also contains the map of this area. So I will be going back to get the map, and then we will be done with this for now. Ah, skeleton boost. That was a speedrun strat. Yep. Map of the Endless Corridor. I'll go back once more, but then if I leave here, we go back to the Mausoleum of Giants. So this is what the Elder was referring to earlier about jumping onto things. He wants us to jump on those platforms from high up. Alright, the celestial bodies lie within. Control the celestial bodies, and even time may be shifted. So this is that Nebra sky disk that I mentioned earlier. This guy says, seems like for this contraption you need to land on the floating platform with a lot of power. It won't budge if you don't jump high enough. Proof, I jumped about as good as a stone. So when I hopped on the platform, I slipped and fell to my death. How's that for proof? So right now, it's not set to anything, but we want to set it to... Well, I think we can set it to night. We're going to set it to all of the things, and it does actually various things in this area, specifically to the statues of the gods. Or the giants, rather. And we would have solved the history of the giants, but again, I know most of the solutions to those puzzles, so we don't need to. I want this guy to fall asleep if I did this right. Okay, I didn't do it right. I think I got the guy praying. I will double check because the other giant is this one. Yep, I got the guy praying. Oops, wrong start. So just to confirm, I'm going to head over to the left here, and you'll see that one of these giant statues has shifted positions, or will shift position, and now he's praying. But that's the last one we want to do. We want to do the other two first. I think I actually want to start with the sun. So now the sun is in the sky. I think that's when the one took a nap. Does that sound right?
Sun shone brightly, hole in his chest when he died. Leto. That's what my notes say.
Oh, you're taking notes? Oh, man. Okay, well, either way, it's one of these two. Yeah, it was not the nap. It was the dead guy, but that's okay. That will get us the Ankh. I think that's the Ankh. I'm just going to backcheck a little bit because pressing that made, I believe, another dais appear up here. No? Maybe it appears after I solve the next one? Hopefully Ian hasn't forgotten how to do some of these things. Alright, we did the stars, so we want the moon. And that will be the nap. Ah, just missed it. So I have to be careful not to get crushed by this giant as he takes his nap, which can happen. No? Was it stars? Did I do moon twice? I'm concerned.
Beto had a blanket of stars when he went to sleep.
It's stars, and I did moon again. Moon is prayers. All right. Should just be asking you since you're taking notes. That's very helpful. Stars. All right. Now this time with feeling. There we go. Alright, now the lever is there. Okay, that's what I needed to do. I need to solve both of those. We'll open this chest. I'm fine. 29 health is enough for anyone.
I'm sure you'll refresh any moment.
It will be soon. Oh, I actually wanted to be up there. It's acting like I was going back to the disc. Alright, this says Miguela is left-handed, so that's how you identify that Futo is the right-handed one by process of elimination. So I'm not going to open this chest yet. I want to point out this is that picture that I alluded to earlier where there's the face on the wall to the left, and it says if I do the thing, you'll be trapped forever. So if I open the chest, this area where I'm standing would form like a laser beam, and you wouldn't be able to escape. But that doesn't happen if you destroy the face, which you can only do with the rolling shuriken. However, even if the laser did show up, you could just use the Holy Grail to teleport out, so it's not that big a deal. But anyway, we got the Ankh, or we got the red jewel. I'm going to unlock the Ankh. But then we are not going to fight the boss of this zone because we're going to power up a little bit more first. So. We do want Moon this time. Moon is praying. Yes? Does that sound right?
Yes. It was a moonlit night that G started praying.
So I believe now if we go over here, the Ankh will show up. Yes. Okay. So we could activate the Ankh and fight the boss, but again, he's a tougher customer, so we're going to go to Zone 3, which we access from Zone 1. I actually needed to go all the way left. Oops. $23 health. We're fine.
We'll trigger that heal any minute now.
Oh, it's so close. Alright, so that's Zone 3. Looks kind of like a hand making an OK symbol. Oops. But again, we have a cheat sheet, so we don't need to worry about that too much. Zone 3. So immediately I'm going to activate this save point. Then we're going to do a little shenanigans to the left here. Actually, I'm a little worried about that life, so maybe I should try to... nothing ventured, nothing gained, right?
One or two more pickups and you'll get it.
Okay, so hitting that dais dropped a cart to the right there. And Elder Zelpud has something to say. He says, "It's me. I believe there's a trolley hanging on top of the Temple of the Sun, and I think you got to cut it down," which I just did. It's funny, like every time I say something, like literally I get an email, and he reiterates the same thing. But I don't know the details. Okay, this guy says, "Can't climb. Cast a light, the truth shall be revealed." This is referring to the fact that thing that kind of looks like a light to my right is a light, and if I turn it on, there's hidden platforms there, which you actually can't access until you turn it on. So I'll come over here. I actually think I need to drop something from above to activate that. A statue of the giant waits in the land of the Inferno. The words of the spirit are hidden within, but one must wait for them to present themselves. Okay. This is another one of the really, really important clues. Very, very late in the game, I think my objective is to go to particular locations in the dungeon and find words that are part of a spell. And I think this is a clue to one of them that's in Zone 5. It's actually pretty nearby. The Statue of the Giant, the Land of the Inferno is Zone 5. The Statue of the Giant is a big bronze, like, snake woman statue that's in that zone. But I don't know how to make the words appear. It says one must wait for them to present themselves. I don't know what that means yet. But important clue here. I don't know if you recall, but there was a clue a little bit ago about a key being in a new construction. That's referring to this lighter brick here, which I'm going to break to open an exit to the area I'm in currently. Step on this.
Would not have caught that.
Platform to open that chest over there. I come up here and break this and knock that down to turn the light on, but we're not going to deal with the light stuff yet. Or maybe we are. Let's see. No, I really need the life to do it, so I'm going to push this card over. Sort of the sub-goal of this zone is pushing a cart down to where you actually fight a boss with the cart. So what does this say? This says, jump into the sun. So that's a clue about a shortcut we're going to take in a little bit to get to the rear part of this area. But anyway, this is the map. And as you've noticed, the ladder out of here disappeared, but you can just push the statue to the right and it'll come back.
Why would you do that? The guy's looking glass to the right, and you just push him in a corner?
Probably because there's nothing else to do in there. So, yeah. Alright. Keep pushing this. This doesn't say anything. Come on, give me that drop or I'm going to be in trouble. Gah! Oh, I don't want to do the next part without it. That's going to be hard. You drop it. Yeah, yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I'm probably going to get some divine punishment here. Because this says aim and shoot, and what it means is I need to actually chuck the shuriken through this passage here without hitting the wall. Just enough to break that pot, which should be now. Yay, I did it. And that will get me here. Boy, I'm running low on... I might go get some weight soon. Which will get me the dagger, and the dagger is both a quick attack weapon and it can attack low. It's the first main weapon we got that can attack low. This is a shop. They don't sell weights. They sell software for text track. I said I'm going to buy everything. I'm going to buy it. This lets you store a message, which again we're probably not ever going to do. But if you really needed to remember something, you could recall it with text track. So I did get the... Oh, I can't get back up. Oh, I can teleport back up. I got the life, so I'm going to go to the left here because there's something really useful to do over there. Fall down right between the platforms. Oops. I needed to be a little lefter. Or a little righter, I suppose. So this is a mini boss fight, who I am going to use Shuriken for because he's also kind of a tough customer. And I will probably annoy some of these statues in the process. Okay. Oh, that's okay. It says, challenge the Inferno Cavern. The road ahead is long. Those who proceed, be prepared to face death. So we could go into the Inferno Cavern. In fact, I might, just to get the save point in there. But first, I think I need to exit and come back to do that. But first, the Isis pendant is up here. And there are some clues that would let you know how to do that, which I will point out later. Isis, the mother of Horus, fled the motherly love, so I'll grant thee healing powers. Oops. So reading that tablet raises the dais. Opening the dais opens the chest. Opening the chest gets us Isis's pendant. And that we can give to the Fairy Queen to get the aid of fairies, which is here. And I'm going to return to the surface and top off my life and get some weights before we proceed to the Land of Inferno. That is indeed Isis's pendant. My fellow fairies will help you now. As promised, we shall make it so that tiny lights are visible in specified areas of the ruins. Come into contact with those lights and the fairies will appear. So I'm the queen. I shall remain here. Return to me if you are faced with a task beyond my fairies' powers. So that's not even going to be relevant for a while, but when it is, I will explain the mechanics of fairies. But as I said, we're going back to the surface briefly for some life and some weights. And then we're going to boldly push into the Land of Inferno because we might be able to get the Ice Cape, which makes us immune or resistant to fire. Actually, I should buy the laptop case while I'm here because I'll be using that in the Land of Inferno if I make a mistake.
Also talk to the Elder.
I will. Oops, that's not the Elder. The Elder's over here. Elder says, no! I'm only on stage 2 and the boss just killed me. If you hadn't barged in like this, yeah, everyone, he does provide useful stuff, but mostly he talks about video games. Where was the laptop case? Here was the laptop case. Okay. So now our laptop works underwater. I don't know if it works in lava yet, which might be more relevant. Back to the Temple of the Sun, but we're gonna dip, as I said, into the Land of Inferno, and then come back and kind of try to complete the Temple of the Sun. Land of Inferno 5 over here. This is some very difficult jumping puzzles for a bit. Alright, Elder says it's hot. It's me, it's getting hot today. Speaking of hot, the lava is also pretty hot. Don't fall in, it'll be very bad. He's not kidding. But if you are prepared to face danger and soldier forward, something good might happen. You're still young. Just take on the challenge. Thanks, Elder. So I'm going to switch to the dagger because these flaming ants throw fire that's on the ground. And I can't use... Okay, turn left and swing your weapon. Turn right and swing your weapon. The souls of children long departed shall be awakened. So this is a clue for something very near the end of the game. This is how to awaken the spirits of the children of Tiamat. And don't worry that doesn't make any sense right now. But this is, I don't have the map, this is the giant statue. So here's where the hidden words are. And again, I don't know how to make them reveal themselves, but that is, I think, something that's important to the bits of the end game that I'm not able to work out. Oop, no, that's so bad. So yeah, you don't want to fall in the lava. And the good news is I can use the laptop in the lava.
That is quite a durable case. Also, the giant statue tip said just wait for the words to appear. Have you sat in that room for a minute?
Sure have. But when we get to that part of the game, we certainly can try all kinds of things. It's not relevant because I don't get the ability to use magic words until very, very, very near the end of the game. But then I think part of the final puzzle is, again, collecting. There's like 9 of them. And I've gotten 1, and I really don't understand why. So we're going to take another stab at that. Hopefully we'll be a little bit more successful. Maybe I can ignore the map for now. I was trying to get the map. That maybe is a little greedy.
So what is that Sonic the Hedgehog guy down there?
It's just an enemy. He is very much like Sonic the Hedgehog. You're not wrong. Oh, thought I had a bad jump there. Okay, I'm gonna go up. That is not a real. All right, my laptop fried from the heat, says this guy. So I'm gonna kill all the
got a case.
skeletons here. Okay, good. I angered one of the statues, although I have to be careful. Like I say, so I angered the snakes. I just want to get a closer look. Is the clue up here? It might be. When the snakes are enraged, it shall open. So it's referring to that chest, so I have to anger the other snake. Okay, both snakes are pissed, and now I can get the map. I'm going to be greedy and try to get this rock. Oh, gosh. Everything's fine.
Nicely done.
So there's a really long path here that I'm sort of undertaking. But if I can get to the end, I can get the ice cape, and that will let me resist the heat of the lava. So it is a worthy goal. Oh, come on.
Rude.
I actually maybe should have gotten the claw first. Okay, this guy says 2 weapons are kept in this land. One lies beyond Pazuzu's guard, the other lies in the Serdab of Light, which extends from the pit of flames. He's just giving me a clue that I should look for 2 hidden areas in this zone that have cool things in him. And he's not wrong. In this zone, before we go back and fight everybody, all the bosses and such, we'll be getting an upgraded whip, which is really, really nice. There's more to this land than meets the eye. It is a pivotal location. Tread a different path and return to this land again. Is indicating that if you take the gate from the reverse of this land in here, that will actually unlock the Ankh. And the Serdab of Light is actually hidden off screen to the left here, but it's a very, very complicated block pushing puzzle. So I'm going to reveal the area. Oh, it might actually be up here. Yeah. I'll reveal the area, but since you have to push 8 blocks here, I'm going to come back when we have the item that lets us do that faster. Oh no. Can I get somewhere?
Nope.
No. Alright, maybe we'll put the kibosh on that for now, and we'll go back to Zone 3 some more. We'll try it again when we have more life. Or the claw. The claw will help a little.
Is that like a grapple?
It is... it lets you stick to walls, so it would let me take the left passage there. Oh my god, the life is so slow.
You're supposed to be relaxing.
That's true. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Alright, so we were in the process of pushing a cart down this zone. Okay, so Elder says... No, go on the exploration. It's me. In the ruins, there are some areas of rooms you can't get into. Brute force ain't the way to get in those places. If you keep collecting treasures and solving puzzles, eventually you'll make it in there. He's calling out the fact that there's a... Oh, it's not even here. That's interesting. Maybe it will be here if I go into the room here. But there should be a rune here, which, again, I will get runes later. But if I go in here, this character is Mulbrook. My name is Mulbrook. By order of the four philosophers, I, Mulbrook, await the strong one. Under the divine protection of Isis, my life is preserved in eternal slumber. In accordance with the ancient contract, I shall lend my powers to the one who awakens me. So she is... Okay, there's the rune appeared. Or the rune key appeared. She is the one that actually gives useful hints for most of the game. So talking to her is very useful. She actually has an item we'll need later. So I want to also call out while we're here, this little crucifix thing that is in the background. There are a couple of those at key locations in the dungeon. And also very late game, a couple of really important things. First of all, there's a tablet that sort of alludes to them. But at the very end of the game, they start to glow red and also appear on the map, but I haven't figured out any way to interact with them. So they might also be a key to part of the end game. Now, lower left of this room, I can't actually get into there from here, but I think those are the clues to the words of the spell that I'm trying to collect. So there are 8 tablets there. I think there are 9 parts of the spell, so the 9th one might be even a more complex puzzle. But I have identified locations in the dungeon that seem to correlate to 7 of the descriptions on those tablets. I don't know one of the ones that's there, and the 8th one, of course, is missing. But again, we'll revisit that a little bit later. I'm just going to keep pushing stuff down. Elder says, "What do you mean, slick and shiny? It's me. Slick and shiny and bald. I've got a little hair left, you know. Anyway, there are some slippery parts of the ruins. Once you start slipping, there ain't no way you're climbing up to the top, but someone with quick feet might be able to make it." So he's referring to the fact that there are these moving platforms that I've been just kind of ignoring because I already got the shoes that let me run up them anyway. There is man, therefore there is woman. A weapon shall not be used within the woman. So in this zone, and in its reverse, are 2 pyramids, and we'll be entering both of them kind of momentarily. One is the pyramid of man, and one is the pyramid of woman. And the meaning of a weapon shall not be used within the woman is if you try to attack while you're in the woman pyramid, you suffer divine retribution anywhere. It's really awful. So you cannot attack within the woman. And that Sphinx is guarding the way into that room with the 9 tablets I just called out a moment ago. Let's see, is there anything I can do here now? No. So we're just going to go... I might not be able to get back from here. I might have to... I can go in this way. Interesting. Alright, so now we're in the Pyramid of the Man. I think there's a way below there, but I think I have to come up from below. I think this pot drops useful ammo. Excuse you. Alright, the woman shall be with child when within the man. So that's a clue for much, much later when I get a woman statue. And if I use it in here, in the Temple of the Man, it becomes an impregnated woman statue. So this says the path that connects to pyramids. And this is a clue that there's a secret warp from the Pyramid of the Man to the Pyramid of the Woman, which we're going to take in a moment. But I'm going to do a couple more things first. I'm going to step on that, which opens a chest down here, I believe. Oh no, I have to kill. So this is interesting. Let's see if the clue is down there. Oh, that opened the path at the bottom there, which is good. That's an exit for us. But anywho, this says, those that fly shall be cast down, and what that means is if I manage to kill these bats here without leaving the Pyramid of the Man, so it might take a minute, I have to wait for them to randomly wander over here, this chest will open, and I will get some more life, if I remember correctly. Ooh, come here. No! Oh, no, no. Come down. More down. Yay! Life. Okay, here's where things get a little weird. So first of all, I'm going to knock down this face. And hopefully I do it right, because it can fall on you and kill you. Okay, I didn't die, thankfully. So the secret passage, which was referred to by, was it this tablet? Yeah, it's showing you in the tip of the pyramid they're connected. So if I just jump up here into the tip of the pyramid, I get teleported to the Temple of Moonlight, which is the reverse of that area, and this is the Pyramid of the Woman. So again, I can't use my weapon in here, so I have to be a little careful. But that is the location of one of the four philosophers. Now, I can't talk to the four philosophers yet, because like Mulbrook, they're all turned to stone. But we will come back here when I can. Here's an interesting, tricky puzzle. So you see how there's a ladder to the right there, and sort of an area? But if you come up here, you don't really see a way down. There is a way down, you just have to stand like right here for a second. And there's a hidden tablet here, which I can't read yet, because there's actually a more advanced version of La Mulana script, which I can only translate if I find tablets that have simple and advanced La Mulana script on it. I have to find, I think, 4 or 5 of them. And I think the Elder's just going to tell me that as per usable. It's me! There's some writing on the glyph reader translate, right? The normal ancient scripts are written by the 4 philosophers from the race of the 7 children. The other writing was written by folks from an even older time. Cannot be translated. I'll look into other methods, so hang on. So I'm also going to start doing something weird in this zone. We're not going to be here long. We're just jumping in to grab the claw. Hold that thought. The sound of the ocarina may only be heard by a woman with a child. That's indicating that the child statue needs to be pregnant to solve a particular puzzle. But anyway, what I was saying, I'm going to start doing something weird, and that is I'm going to start examining random locations in the world. And these random locations are hinted at by clues, but again, I know the solutions already, so I'm going to do the examinations while I'm in the area, and I will call out the clues later. So, to be clear, I haven't had the clues yet, but I will say, oh yeah, this clue referred to that location. I think there's only one of them I'm going to do right now. And these are clues to getting into Eden. And they actually are clues to opening the chests here. Okay. Those seeking Eden, open the 5 boxes, mind thy manners, and open them starting with the one closest. So that means when I examine these locations in this room, more daises are going to appear. And each dais corresponds to one of those 4 chests. And this clue is saying in order to open the big chest, I need to start with the furthest chest. Or the closest chest? Well, I need to do them in order. I don't even remember which way it is, but it's one of the ways in order. This is La Mulana script I can't translate yet. Yeah. Okay, this is one of the areas, so I just examined that, and there's a clue that will call that area out later, but I examined it while I was here because this jumping sucks and I don't want to have to do it more than once if I could avoid it. So now I got the claw, and now thanks to the claw I can stick to walls like so, and then dash off them. And I think the Elder is calling me to tell me that. You found a grapple claw! It's me! Did you find the grapple claw yet? If I remember right, you've got ninja blood in you. I've heard that from your father. If you use the grapple claw, you can scale walls like a ninja, jump towards the wall, and hold up and towards the wall. You will fall by releasing up. You can also jump further by pressing the jump button while hanging onto the wall. So that will actually let me get into the area that has the improved chain whip, or the improved whip, which is a chain whip, which is like super, super, super useful. And we're going to grab that soon. Atop the navel of Neptune is indicating there's a hidden platform on a statue of Neptune much, much, much later. I think there's skeletons I can talk to somewhere in this pile. Maybe not. I'm not hitting any. Anyway, there's like weird hidden skeleton platforms there. Oh no, I missed that jump. I really wanted to make that jump. Oh well. I don't have the double jump, so I can't get back up there. But we got the claw, so that's the only thing we're doing in here now. So I'm actually going to go back to the Temple of the Sun. While I'm here, I'm going to take another roll at the... Oh no, that was the wrong jump. Inferno, Land of Inferno. Because hitting the save point in there would actually also be helpful for getting that whip. That's right. Not La Mulana 2. Can't jump on ladders. Ouch. Oops. No, no. Oh boy, I almost didn't make that jump. Oh, actually, I might not be able to do this until I get... Yeah, I need the rune to do that, so I can't even get in there yet. But anywho, getting the ice cape and getting the save point will still be useful if I can pull it off. Getting the ice cape will be trivial if I can get to the save point. Let's not screw this up again. More than that. Oh boy, come on. Don't. Yay. Okay. No. Save point is up here, so huzzah! Inferno Cavern, sweet. The ice cape is very nearby. Oops. Hey, I made it out. There's also hidden software here. Text memory. If I were to install that, I could save multiple messages, maybe just the one. Okay, what does this say? Those seeking Eden, open the 4 boxes, seek supports petals. So this is one such clue. Find the source of a phenomenal trap, that's not the one we activated, in a place bathed in moonlight. But that is the format of those clues. So I'm going to put that dais there, push this block here, wait for this flame jet, push it over here, and then we got the ice cape. And then we're not immune to lava, but it sucks a lot less.
Wow.
Alright, so that's all I wanted to do here. So let's wrap up the Temple of the Sun. Oh, this is kind of a neat feature. As you collect gear, it actually updates your portrait to show you wearing and holding the stuff. So now I've got a cape on, for example.
Very archaeological of you.
Yeah, that's what you do, right? Okay, that will get the cart all the way to the bottom. So down there we can actually fight the boss if we want to, but again we're going to collect a few more things first. All right, this says, to the one who has solved all the puzzles, make thy descent now, and I think that just means, hey, when you're ready, go fight the boss there. Let's see. It says, the holy fish dwells on this rock, shall be transformed into the scale sphere when polished by the maiden of purity. It shall protect you from impure water. It's a very flowery way, I think, of saying that the scale sphere is the item that lets you not take damage when you're in water. That dais is a trap. This says, call for the power of the twins. Twins are 2 and 1. Twins are identical to each other. This dais is kind of also a trap. There's a clue, and I'm actually going to encounter it in just a moment, but it says, pray under the Wadget Eye, do nothing else. So I'm going to walk over here under the Wadget Eye and just stand here for a second. And that opens that chest. Activating the dais will drop the Wadget Eye on your head, I think, and damage you or something. And that's the Ankh. I want to get this pot. Oh, I see. I know what's going on. I never put on the guild alert, which is why I'm not hearing that there are shops nearby. Here's the cue. Meditate under the wedge and I do nothing more than pray. So that was the clue to just stand there. But there is a shop here, which I think has some software that's not very useful. Oh, it has the heat-proof laptop. I don't even know if that's necessary. It might be that you
More
can't use.
heat-proof than lava.
Yeah, well, it's for the laptop, so it might mean that, like the waterproof laptop case lets you access the pause menu while you're in water, which you normally can't do. So I assume the heatproof was for lava, but I demonstrated that I didn't need it to do that. So I'm trying to recall where we're going to get the next thing we get is the rune. And I think we actually proceed to area 4 to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and go to area 4 next, which we access from area 1 again. But soon we'll backtrack a whole bunch and beat up the bosses that we were building towards. The boss of areas 2 and 3. Oh, I only have 4 weights. 5 weights. Oh, I only have 5 weights? Oh, didn't work. So this is area 4, the Tower of Oannes. Okay, now the Elder says the water may look pure, but it's poisonous. It's me. Apparently the water inside these ruins is slightly poisonous, so if you're in the water, your health would drain. However, there are places that purposely have water, so you can't pass if you don't have enough health. So if you think you can do it, it could be possible to swim across. Just be careful and don't get yourself killed. Good advice. This says, open the floodgates, the water will once again flow. Open the floodgates of Oannes. And this means that I can open a floodgate up ahead, and I will actually dump water into the 3rd area, which will let me access some bits of it that I couldn't before. I'm going to go down here because here's the save point. That will help. Spring in the sky. There's a hidden weight over here, which will let me get caltrops. Now, I thought caltrops are the absolute most useless item in the game, because you toss them behind you and they just kind of sit there for a while, but if you walk into them you take damage yourself. But I recently worked out a strategy that I'm extremely proud of, which is one of the later bosses has like a screen-filling laser attack that you're supposed to do this really, really, really precise platforming to avoid. But I discovered you can just throw some caltrops on the ground and damage boost through it. So it's like so super useful in that one specific location. Okay.
Hacked.
The priest Oannes takes the form of a fish. This land flourishes under him, only he may close the floodgate. I think that's indicating just that the location of the floodgate is below the statue of Oannes. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get very far with just 2 weights here. We'll see how it goes. It says nothing. This is the area that was depicted earlier that said, hey, go ahead and swim through here. Heal thy barren, blah, blah, but no trying English. Heal thy entire body. The fairy will gently heal thou. The fairy will help thy fight. The fairy will provide treasure. The fairy will reveal secrets. That hints at some of the functionality of the fairy. So there are actually 4 kinds of fairies. And if I walk to the right here, you'll see this sort of glowing location. That is a fairy spot. That would not have appeared if I didn't get the help of the fairy so far. And if you touch it, I'm going to touch it, but I'm going to quickly leave the room. A pattern appears that indicates what type of fairy you are going to get. So that big circle is a heal fairy. That circle with a star in it is a luck fairy that gets you more treasure, and that's really useful for if we ever need to grind money. There's also a weapon fairy that automatically fires your sub-weapons without costing you ammo, and a key fairy, which is actually used to solve some puzzles. Joy, right? The software, the game software, the Nagoro game software, will let you pick the type of fairies that you get, but I don't know the right combinations to get the right fairies. So when I need a particular fairy, I'll be coming here and I'll be doing what I just did, which is touching the fairies and jumping off screen if it's not the one I want. So I'm just going to take a heal fairy here because I don't need something more complicated, because we're going to fight a mini-boss in a second. Heal fairy just constantly heals your life. So it's a little useful for the next part. Because I'm going to fight a boss here. And I can almost face tank because I have the heal fairy. I mean, I guess I can. Actually, it was a really easy boss. I made it look easy. Alright, what does it say? Collect the 4 sigils, so this just clues in that you need the sigils to open those little rune markings.
There were 5 of them, though.
That's true. I think there are 5 sigils. I wonder why it said collect the 4 sigils. That's interesting. Alright. When the waters of the oceans calmed, a new child was born in pursuit of the sun and moon. Man and woman, life and death, a small, wingless, gillless child was born. There's more lore, I think. And I think this is, the first origin, the first seal. Oh no, no. Please land on something. Oh.
No.
Well, that's something, but I meant something a little closer than that. I think I can get to the top here and get the scale sphere. But then we're going to go backtrack a little bit. We're actually going to get the second sigil almost immediately after this. Although I may get the scale sphere and then do a time check because I said we were only going to go to 10. So it might be a good time to stop after that if you guys have somewhere to be.
Fair enough.
Hey. I see. Resets when I come on the screen. So, no, that's exactly not what I wanted to do. Well, I landed on this at least.
Bat platform save.
Yeah, it's a speedrun strat. Boy, there's lots of bats here. Take 3. There we do. Go. Not do. Alright. Scale sphere! Now I don't take damage in water, which is really handy. I am going to beat this up while I'm here. No, not yet. Did I beat it up from the other side? Ah, I have to activate. Here we go. Very complicated mechanism. Okay, so now there should be water here. Yes. And I should be able to hit this thing. And that will spread water to the right, which is where the boss is. But again, we're going to collect a bunch more things and then do all of these bosses at once. So I guess that's... well, let's see what the Elder has to say, but it's a pretty good stopping point if we're going to call it around now. So Elder says, there are items that look like rocks with a Mulana script on them. They can be used like keys. And these here ruins. If you touch a keyhole, or rather sort of small round mural with the same symbol, it will break. With that, you might be able to solve some puzzles. So that's sort of what we were doing. So I'm just going to teleport back to the surface and
Buy a bunch of weights.
Yes, I will buy a bunch of weights. That's a good call because I will absolutely forget to if I don't do that. Boy, having you around is so far very helpful. I appreciate that.
Why, thank you.
We'll go ahead and do an actual save. And that's La Mulana week 1. So, are you available to try again next week and keep going and see where we get?
Yep.
All right.
Sounds
well,
good.
then I appreciate you joining us tonight, and we'll see you then.
All right.
Good night,
Watch
everybody. See you, Dan.